your body, mind, emotions, energy, and consciousness are all layers of one powerful system. And the key to health, well-being, and true happiness in life is actually understanding how these layers work together and how they interconnect and affect one another. My name is Sylvia, and today we'll be talking about holistic well-being. I find that sometimes we are getting attached to words so much that we miss the point and what someone is trying to tell us. So I'm asking you today, before we move forward, not to get attached to words, but the meaning behind those words, and try to see how this resonates in your life and in the life of those people around you, and how it makes sense in your life. It's a very simple concept, but it's quite complex how it shows in our life, because it can show in so many different ways. So these 5 layers are called Annamaya Kosha, which is our physical layer, Pranamaya Kosha, which is our energetic layer, Manomaya Kosha, which is our mind, our emotional layer, Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is our higher mind, our intellect, our wisdom, and 5th layer is Anandmaya Kosha, which is called Bliss layer, our bliss, the cause of everything, our soul, our inner connection. So let's dive deep into each layer and how this connects with science and how you can link each layer together. So the first layer, Annamaya Kosha, the physical body, is the physical structure. It's nothing abstract. It's the physical body that we can see, we can touch. It's our muscles, it's our bones, it's our organs, and it's the food that we eat that gives us nutrition. From the scientific parallel, the modern science that is investigating this layer is known as anatomy and physiology of our body, nutritional science, what energy and what sort of nutrition we need to keep this layer healthy, exercise science, what sort of things we have to do with our body to keep this layer healthy, and the sleep research, how much sleep do we need to keep ourselves healthy, right? So this layer is a gross physical layer made of food and matter, and it's a foundation for our well-being. If this layer becomes unbalanced because we don't eat right, we don't exercise right, we don't sleep enough, our body is getting affected, but all the other layers are getting affected along with it. So straight away from this layer only, you can notice if you don't have enough sleep. You can notice that your energy levels is slow, your emotions are imbalanced, you can't connect with your wisdom because you're running on your emotions, and you're definitely not happy, you don't experience bliss. Also, if you suffer an injury, if you have a problem in your body, all those layers will be affected from the body straight away. We don't even have to get into different layers to know that, right? But let's get deeper into our energetic layer now. Our energy layer is our energy. It's our vital force that's running something inside of our bodies without us even knowing. The scientific parallel of this could be the heart rate variability, how healthy is our heart, how healthy is the internal system that's giving this energy to all the cells in our body. It's our autonomic nervous system, our vagus nervous system, and our breath work and oxygenation of the body, which work very closely with the heart. And I'm learning this even more right now by actually reading this book, Yoga on Hypertension, which is really interesting. And one of the things I found out from this book is that the heart has 4 chambers, which I didn't know about. And this closely relates to our oxygen, our lungs. And yeah, it's very interesting to know these things. So this is the scientific parallel that is studying this energy of our body. And I think, again, energy is nothing abstract because we can feel it. We wake up in the morning, we either have loads of energy or we don't. We go throughout the day and we either thrive or we don't. And we can feel and see these shifts happening in our day, but also in our life. So energetic layer is something we don't necessarily see in our eyes. It's not physical, but it's a subtle energy channel that is affecting our well-being on a much deeper level. And when prana, this energy, chi, energy, prana, all those three different words that we can potentially use to describe this, when it's flowing freely, when there is no blockage, there is no problems within this layer, we feel calm, energized. But when we experience blockage in this layer, we might experience fatigue, anxiety, even depression of this energy. So this layer is very important. And actually the best way to work on this layer is through our breath. The breath is directly connected with our heart. We need oxygen, our body needs to thrive from the oxygen, and our blood, our heart is directly connected with this. So again, this is the study and the exercise. When we look after the physical body, it's going to help with this layer as well. But on top of that, it's important to connect breath work, going out in the sun, and again nutrition. Nutrition from the first gross object is very important for our energy. Let's dive even deeper, right? I hope this is not too abstract for now. For me, it's quite easygoing, it's quite obvious, and actually learning these 5 layers, 3 bodies that we have is actually a breakthrough. So let's dive into Maya Kosha now, which is our emotions, our mind, our patterns, beliefs, and things that are affect us subconsciously. These could be our emotional responses. This could be our patterns and habitual behaviors that we learn throughout life. And the scientific parallel of this is neuroscience, studying of the mind, the thought loops, the stress, how is stress affecting us. And this layer is very much connected to the other layers too, because when we experience tension, when we experience dis-ease on this layer, all the other layers are also going to get affected by this. And what I like to bring here as an example is how stress can affect us and how those layers that are surrounding this mental layer get affected by this. So just imagine you experience high amounts of stress on a daily basis. You had a really tough day at work and you come back home and you're very stressed. You haven't dealt with this stress. You didn't learn how to manage this stress and how to relax. And you come back home and someone is telling you something and you've just on top of everything that you could deal with. You've experienced so much stress that one more thing is just tipping you off, and it doesn't matter what you know. This person might be right. This person might be telling you the truth, and maybe you are aware of this, but you can't deal with this, so you experience big emotional response. Perhaps you start crying, perhaps you have a little bit of anger towards that person, perhaps you experience frustration, and something comes out of you. It's like something squeezed you, and all the stress that you've been dealing with is affecting your wisdom. So you can't cope with this anymore because your emotions are taking over. And this is very quick situation to expand on, and this affecting the next layer, the wisdom layer. But how is this affecting our energy and our physical body? Well, when we experience stress, we also experience biochemical responses from the body. So usually our heart rate will increase. Our body begins to notice symptoms like shakiness, tight chest. We can feel tight chest. We might even get diarrhea when we are stressed over the interview that's coming up. So our physical body is experiencing the symptoms too. And of course, energetic body, the energy is becoming stuck because the energy isn't functioning properly. We often try to block what we experience. We don't want to experience frustration or stress. Sometimes we block it without being aware of it. Sometimes we are just not aware of all those tensions that are happening throughout the day, that it comes to this situation that is too much and we explode, and all this anger, frustration, stress that's been building and building and building, maybe in one day, maybe in a few weeks, maybe in the whole year, and maybe in the whole life. All those things are coming out in this big response. And it's okay if you're going to deal with this and come back to normality. However, all those things that we experience are stored in our subconscious and our body remembers it. So we need to let go of them. We need to fix them. Because if not, our body, all those responses that are accumulating in the body, eventually can cause a dis-ease on the physical body as well. The body is connected directly to our mind. The stressful response that we experience, it's not only experience on our mental layer, it's also experience on our energetic level. Our heart rate is increasing, right? The function of the body is changing. It can't function properly. Our nervous system is becoming imbalanced. And that's affecting the physical body as well, because of all those chemical reactions that are happening in the body now. Tight chest, heart rate, maybe even some problems with digestive system. I hope it's making sense so far. So the next layer is our wisdom layer. It's our higher mind. It gathers insights, it gathers our intellect, it gathers our inner knowledge, our discernment, decision making, and everything that is happening behind the thought. Oh, and I realized I didn't talk about meditation in the previous layer. Meditation is a great way to connect and to work on our emotions and mind, and that links with our wisdom layer as well, because meditation works on both. Through meditation we can calm our emotions, we can observe them and let go of things. And then as we do that, as we calm the mind so it's steady, we can see things clearly, and this is connected with our wisdom, with our discernment, with our insight. Scientific parallel with this layer is metacognition, intuition research, and neuroscience, directly exploring and researching the mind. When this layer is active, when we manage to connect with this layer deeply, our values start shine through. We begin to understand the values and become aware of them. When we live with alignment to our values, we can experience more happiness, more meaning in life, and this reduces stress and it reduces inner conflict, because the moment we start living by our internal rules, by our inner wisdom, by our inner values, that's the moment when that inner conflict can't be, because you do everything that you are connected with. It's the moments when we think one thing but we do something different. It's the moments when we think we deserve big things but we choose things that are questioning and maybe bringing this self-deserving feeling down. When you truly create the boundaries and you begin to live by your internal values, when you start loving yourself and choosing things that are loving to you. The practice to connect with this layer and to keep this layer healthy is self-inquiry, understanding your values, understanding yourself, maybe journaling, reflections, observing reality and questioning, why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way? What is it that this situation awakened in me when I reacted a certain way? Is it this situation, or is it something else that's affecting me from my past? Or maybe it's something that isn't aligning with my values. And clarification of your values, exercises that you can do to understand what is it that you live by. What are your non-negotiables? And then we have the final layer, and this is the deepest layer of our being. It's our pure joy, it's the spiritual connection. It's not some woo that we might see sometimes and spiritual bypassing. To truly get into that spiritual connection, you have to do the hard work. You have to go through the wisdom layer, and you have to go through your emotional layer, and you have to go through your energetic layer, and then physical layer, and finally you get to connect with this bliss layer. That's the true joy of life, the true unity. And like I mentioned, when you cultivate this feeling of love in yourself, you have more love to others. And when they bring you shit, let's say, you have so much love that is not going to affect you. That shit, it's like you have the wall in between you and what's happening over there, and you can give it love so that person can drop their shit away. And sometimes it happens that people get uplifted by us uplifting ourselves, but also sometimes happens that people can't cope because they are not ready with this upliftment and with this love that we are ready to give, and they walk away. And we can't do anything about this. The only thing we can do is truly connect with that pure love and joy and happiness and connection we have with ourselves and with the world around, and be ready to embrace this, but making sure we embrace this with peace and compassion. And there is few tips to connect with this layer, which are practicing of gratitude and act with compassion and service. All these 5 layers are so interconnected. When we go against ourselves, when we go against our own personal values, it's when we experience inner conflict. When we can't handle our emotions because we've been bearing them underneath, deep in the subconscious mind, we experience mental turmoil. And when we don't look after physical body, our energy is changing, our mood is changing, the whole pyramid of our 5 layers are affected. So it's so important to connect with all those layers, and I can help you with that. If you are interested to find out more, send me a message, get in touch with me, and we can discuss your next steps. I hope this makes sense and you can resonate with what I've been trying to share with you today. Have a lovely day.